Hi, this is Michael Ruberto, and I'm going to be showing off my project, which is an app called NHL Data Central. Now, the main motivation behind this app was that as a huge hockey fan, I've noticed that there are some websites you can go to that have some information about the NHL, like financial stuff or player stats, but there wasn't really any like one-stop shop that you can go to see everything conveniently in one place. So the goal of this app was essentially that, to give hockey fans all the information they want right at their fingertips. So to begin, I'll start by showing you guys behind the scenes on showing you the routes that I wrote for this. Now, I did not end up using every route that I wrote here in my AppSmith app, but just for the sake of completeness, I implemented all the routes that I thought I would need for a more fleshed out version of the project, just so that I had them there. So I believe there are about 14 routes in total. And so I'll start with the ones made for the fan persona. The fan persona is meant to focus on team level statistics intended for a fan who follows a certain team that they like. So to begin, the routes we have are slash teams, which just lists all the teams in the database, slash team name, which lists all the details of a specific team, slash team slash record slash team name, which gives you the season by season records for every team. So wins, losses, overtime losses. Fans can also see coaching information. So we have slash coaches slash ID to get information about a specific coach. And then we have a post request slash add team, which allows you to create a new team and add them to the database. Then for coaches, the coach persona focuses on a more micro level on players and their individual statistics rather than the team as a whole. So for the coaches, we have slash players, which lists all the players, slash player ID, which lists all the information for a specific player, slash player ID slash stats, which gives you the season by season stats for a player. So for skaters, that includes goals, assists, hits, and average time on ice. And for goaltenders, that's save percentage and goals against average. And then we also have players, player ID fights, which gives you all the fights that a player was involved in. And then finally, we have another post request to add player. And then finally, the last persona we have is for agents. Agents are all focused on the financial data of the league. So that includes a lot of arena revenue stuff and some salary cap stuff. So for agents, there's slash arenas, which lists all the arenas. Arenas arena name, which lists all the details for a specific arena. Players player ID, which gives all the financial data for a specific player. And finally, we have team name, which gives the salary cap information and some tax info for every individual team. So that covers all the routes we have across all three personas. Let's get into the actual app demo now. So as you can see here, I made 4 pages for this app, one data view for each persona, and then a post form for coaches. So to begin with the fans, this is the team card, and it's meant to show team statistics. So you can see in this text here, there's some general overview, how many Stanley Cups they won, important personnel, etc. And then in this table, it's their record by season, dating back for 5 years is what I've added to the database. So in addition to that, you can see there's this drop down here, which lists every team in the league. If you want to see a new team, you can just pick one at random, like the Edmonton Oilers, press submit, and then all this data updates. So this has the same information for every single team in the league. Moving on to the coaching view, this focuses on players and their individual statistics. So you can see down here, there's a key, which sort of describes all of the stats and what the stat actually means. So for skaters, you have these 4, and then for goaltenders, you have these 2. So it functions much in the same way. You see the actual records in this table, and there's a drop down. So for Jack Hughes, who's a skater, you have these 4 statistics. And then if you select Igor Shesterkin, who's a goaltender, you have these 2 statistics instead. So that's what the coaching view looks like. And then finally, for agents, it focuses on arena revenue. So you can see here, there's some financial information about every arena, such as the attendance, how much money they usually bring in, and then these 2 final revenues are calculated using these 5 amounts. And so then again, there's a drop down. You can select whichever arena you want to look at, pick one, press submit, and then all this data updates. So those are the 3 data views that I made in this app. And then finally, there's another view for coaches to add players. So when you're adding a player, I'll just use, for example, one of my favorite players, Nico Hischier from the Devils. As I'm typing this all in, you can see that I'm just filling out this form rather easily. One interesting thing to note is that since the team name is set up as a foreign key, you must use a team name that's valid in the database. So for instance, this is a team name that's not included in the database. So if I try and submit, it gives me an error and it doesn't work. So if instead I change it to a valid team like the Devils, that will work properly. So just for perspective, we can look in Data Grip. There are 32 players currently in the database, and Nico Hischier is not one of them. If I go back to this form, press submit, it says success. Come back here, refresh, and you can see he was actually successfully added to the database. So that's the general overview of my app. I hope you enjoyed this quick walkthrough, and I hope that you find this app useful. Thank you.